all are welcome on my YouTube channel, my online classroom. And today in this video, I am going to show you the notes of class 9, Civics Chapter 2, what is democracy, why democracy. So let's start. So first of all, notes. Under the notes, of course, the main heading, it is introduction. And under the introduction, what you are going to write, that whatever is the main concept of this chapter that you are going to write. First of all, that in this chapter, we will study what is true democracy and why most of the countries are becoming democratic day by day. Next point, what is democracy? Of course, chapter name is what is democracy, why democracy. So it is very important to know the meaning of democracy. So it's in simple words if you are going to see. So it's described as a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. And as though in the words of Abraham Lincoln also, the 16th president of USA, he also mentioned that democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. So all these meanings, I think in the previous chapter also we had discussed. If you have not seen those videos, please watch it. And now let's even democracy word is derived from the Greek language word demokratia, which means rule of the people. So here this definition makes one thing very clear, that rulers in democracy are elected by the people. Next, but this definition is not adequate. Why? Because all governments that hold elections are not democracies. If you are going to see in Pakistan and China, elections are held, but the elected representatives in Pakistan are controlled by the military officers and General Pervez Musharraf. According to the chapter content, I am going to tell you this thing. Next, while in China, only those candidates are allowed to stand in election which have got the approval of the Chinese Communist Party. One party's rule does not establish a democracy. Let's move to the main features of democracy. In a democracy, rulers elected by the people take all the main decisions and guide. There is none above them to direct or guide. Next point, in a democracy, elections are held regularly on the basis of universal adult franchise. These elections offer a free and fair opportunity to the people to change their present rulers. In a democracy, all the people, without any distinction of caste, creed, color and sex, are given this choice and opportunity on an equal basis. Next point, in a democracy, the exercise of their choice of electing their rulers lead to a government limited by the rules of the Constitution and citizens' rights. Next point, it follows one person, one vote and one value. Next, it is next heading, some common features of the democratic countries. First point, in democratic countries, the people enjoy the freedom of speech. They are free to criticize the government. Next point, in a democratic country, there are free and fair elections and the people are allowed to vote for any candidate of their choice. In democratic country, the workers allowed to form independent trade unions. The opposition parties are allowed to function freely. There is no danger to people's life. There is freedom of press. Any citizen can aspire for any post and fight election. Next heading, some features of the non-democratic governments. First, in non-democratic country, the people are not allowed to criticize the government. In non-democratic countries, the rule of the king or the so-called military rule prevails and the question of elections does not arise. Next point, no opposition is tolerated. The workers are not allowed to form trade unions here. Next point, no freedom of press. Next, danger to people's life. Next point, no one can aspire for any big post. And let's move to the next heading. And before of that, also I want to tell you that if you are new on this channel, please subscribe this channel, because here you will get class 6 to 12 study material, especially of social science. Next, it is merits or arguments in favor of democracy. So, first point, democracy is better than any other form of government because it represents to the needs of the people. Second, democracy provides basic services to the people. Third, democracy provides peaceful solution to every problem. Democracy is based on discussion. Democracy provides room to correct mistakes. Democracy maintains dignity of the individuals. Democracy based on political equality. Next point, next heading, demerits or arguments against democracy. So first it is the leaders go changing with every new elections. So all this change leads to instability. Next, in a democracy, it takes a long time to get a law passed by the legislature. All this leads to delays. In order to find their elections, the leaders once elected begin to amass wealth for the next elections. So much a practice leads to corruption. Next point, some people argue that democracy is the rule of the majority, which means the rule of the ignorant people. Next point, there are others who say that there is lack of discipline in democracy and hence the government should be run by the army. Next point, in order to win elections, the different political parties make false promises and cheat the people. Thus, there is no scope for morality in democracy. They would rather prefer religious leaders to run the government. Now, next heading, outcome. The fear of change does not allow the leaders to become autocratic. Next, a corrupt leader, how much clever he may be, cannot blind the voters forever. Next, those who say that the rule of the majority means the rule of the ignorant people, what we need is the rule of the wise, even if they are in small numbers. Next point, delayed decisions are not always wrong. Last heading, it is conclusion. From the above discussion, it becomes quite clear that though democracy may not be the ideal form of government, it is certainly better than other forms of government from which we have to choose. So I hope all the headings have been clear to you, and I'm going to tell you one more thing, that on this channel you will get the video explanation, the explanation portion of this chapter as well as the notes. So it is be given here. Other chapters notes also you will get on my channel. The flow chart where I am going to be explaining the main headings of the chapter, and the worksheet where I am giving the important question of the chapter, even the syllabus. The latest, the reduced syllabus you will get on my channel. All the map work which is be important for your whole year related to the topics which is related to your history and geography, that is also I am going to be provided. It is also be on my channel. So please like, share, subscribe this channel for more information.